What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 150 of Park to Prem here with Town or Town. What a special occasion this is. 150 episodes. Absolutely insane. I just want to start this episode off by saying a massive thank you to all of you for your support on this series. We have been going now since the 1st of January, so over 5 months at this point. And, well, for those of you who have been tuning in just about daily over the past, half a year almost, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this, and I really do appreciate the support. But anyway, to mark episode 150, we've got a few crazily big games in succession. So today, we are not doing a double header. We're not doing a triple header. Yes, we are doing a quadruple header. I think that's what we'll call it. Yes, we've got 2 games against Liverpool. We've got them in the Premier League, then we've got them in the Cup, in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, and then we're going to go away. We're going to skip over Norwich. I'm sorry to Canary fans out there, but you're not particularly exciting for this episode number. And then we're going to come back for 2 Manchester games. We've got Manchester City in the Premier League away from home, and Manchester United at home to start the year 2035. So before we get into those games, it's worth noting there's been 3 matches since you were last here. 3 wins, which is obviously great to see, including 2 clean sheets in this. The first of which was against West Brom. 2-0 this game finished. It took us until the second half to find a breakthrough. Mateus Aurelio with a very good finish, but his good finish was somewhat eclipsed by the quality of Andre's volley. Lurking at the back post, the corner wasn't fully dealt with, and he just lashed it home. What an insane finish that was by the centre mid. We kept a clean sheet, as we have done many times this year, and ran out comfortable victors. The next game we had was against Malmo. It was the final game of the Champions League. I decided to play a rotated team. Bubalo scored the first goal in this game, but for some reason which I don't really know, as you will have seen already, the highlights, when I select, view goal highlights, Bubalo's goal just doesn't show. It's his first ever goal for the club. He's been denied his moment. I'm a little bit sad for him. As you can see by the other highlights going on in the background, Conceded got the first. It was from a corner. Jackie Auger with another set piece in the second half. We ran rampant. Thiago Ulises, or as I've been calling him, useless, because he at one point was a little useless for us in terms of he didn't really fit the team. He got one in the 61st minute. And then Kevin Kaiser, just a set-piece specialist. 2 free kicks in the space of 7 minutes. 2 incredible free kicks of that. I think the first one was a little bit better, ricocheting in off the crossbar. But 6-0, not a little bad way, I guess, to cap off the Champions League group stage where, by and large, we've done everything that we needed to do. Anyway, most recently we took on Brighton. This was a weird game. We were playing in the snow, which I think impacted our performance. Dylan Turnbull got us off to a flyer, and we were going to need him to turn up for us again, because with 13 minutes left, Jovanovic scored for them. 1-1, 10 minutes left. I went more attacking. Andy Eric misses a penalty in the 82nd minute. I am panicking. I am in pieces on the sideline. I'll tell you who isn't in pieces. Dylan Turnbull. He's lurking outside the 6-yard box. Corner gets whipped in. Glancing header, cross goal, finds the back of the net. 2-1 it finishes. We get a win, which we really, really needed. And the great news about that win is it came off the back of Manchester City struggling. Yes, it has now emerged that Chelsea may well be our big rivals for the title this year. They are currently unbeaten in their last 5 games. In fact, they've won all of their last 5 games, including a game against Man City. They are 2 points behind us, but we do have 1 game in hand over them. Man City, you can see now, 5 points behind us, and we have a game in hand. They lost against Everton, they drew it against Brighton, and they obviously lost against Chelsea, as you saw before. So they've been bottling it a little bit, and it puts us in a situation now where the pressure is on us again. It feels a bit like last season. We had a cushion like this at this point last year, and we threw it away. And it's going to be difficult to go unbeaten through the entire season, but at 15 games in, we're 20% of the way there, or no, 40% of the way there even, towards an unbeaten season. Let's not get too carried away yet. We've got some tricky games, including today's game against Liverpool, a team who have been in the ascendancy, unbeaten in their last 4 games. They're only defeating the last 5 coming against Man City. Yeah, they're going to provide stiff opposition for today's game. I talked about Bubalo's goal. I think it's worth just looking at Bubalo, because for a 5th choice striker, he's really, really good. He's improved so much. Of course, we brought him in last year in January, still yet to score a league goal for us, but the fact he's got a goal in continental competitions makes me feel a little happier for him. And, due to an unfortunate injury to Steve Norman, he finds himself on the bench. If we just take a peek at Steve Norman here, you can see a damaged knee cartilage. That is not an insignificant injury, and his physicals have taken a little bit of a tumble as a result of it. I will say he's made some really good development as a footballer, definitely some notable improvement just at a glance of the polygon, if nothing else. So a shame to see him injured because he's done okay so far. He's not been making a whole load of appearances, but he's been a source of goals for us for sure. But besides that, the rest of the team is looking very, very good. Douglas currently is wanting to go out on loan, so I think I am actually going to let him leave, which may not prove to be the most popular decision, but despite the fact he's a fan favourite, he's desperate for this move, and I'm kind of just willing to give him it. I don't want to say I'm giving up on him, but I feel like we've got some very good young players coming through. It perhaps leaves us a little light at the centre-back position if we do choose to load him up, but he wants to play regular first-team football. He's valued at £16 million, which when you compare it to the rest of the first team is very, very low. Kind of hoping that in going out on loan and playing some regular first-team football, it might up his value a little bit, and who knows, maybe we can set him on for a little bit of money. Of course, he joined us for £13 million during our first stint in the Premier League. In the last 2 years prior to this one, only has made 11 appearances in the league. He's definitely not been a regular feature of the first team. So, whilst it would be a bit of a sad day, sometimes you've got to be kind, and let them flee the nest, I suppose. Anyway, thinking about the fact that he's going to be leaving, we'll bring in Ulisses onto the bench, the young Brazilian, a player with a hell of a lot of potential. Excited to see what can become of him. It was great to see him score against Malmo. And well, this is the team that we are going to go for today's game. Unfortunately, Leskinen is suspended. You will notice the star rating of Kaiser is really high. That is because he's just in good form. I've had people tweet me recent examples. It's mad, actually, just how much form plays a role in progress. I mean, if we just look, in his last 5 games, he's been in some really good form. 3 goals and 5 assists, which obviously nothing to scoff at. But for whatever reason, with the way that Football Manager judges it, he's gone from being a 4-star player, even, early here, a 3.5-star player, to in the last month he's gone from 4-star to 5-star. If we actually look at his attributes have not gone up in the last 2 months. It's a load of rubbish, the star ratings. They are way too form dependent. SI, please fix. But yeah, because Leskinen's unavailable for today's game, he is going to come in. Looking at it here, Soretta carrying a little bit of a knock. You know what? Auger, get on the pitch. Unfortunately, we are going to have to play 2 left-footed centre-backs, although actually, I tell a lie. Auger, back off the pitch. I'm sorry, mate. You're going. Makasi, we're going to bring him in. The South African who can't header a ball for toffee, but I'll tell you what, he can do pretty much everything else you could want from a centre-back, and he's a pretty good backup option, and one of the reasons that I'm willing to let Douglas move out. So anyway, let's get into this game, shall we? The first of 4 today. Worth noting that Manchester United and Manchester City are playing at the same time as us. Never before have I wanted Manchester United to win a match as much as I need them to win this one here now. It's going to be a tricky game for us away from home. Given Liverpool are down in 6th, I do feel like we should, press forward, play on the front foot, try and get an early goal or 2. I don't really want to be looking to hit them on the counter. I think we've got the quality to punish them. And, well, hopefully the team and hopefully the boys today are going to show that in this first game. Of course, we play them here, then we've only got, a few days and we're back to play them in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. So maybe this game will influence how I approach that match. But 2 competitions that I do want to do well in, but of course the league is going to take priority here, and it is why we are going full strength, knowing full well there may be a little bit of rotation needed down the line. Ball played forward to Shvetsov. Lovely touch, lovely finish. What a goal that is. 10th goal of the season for him. Andre's assist was superb, but Shvetsov's touch there, he just kills the ball. The ball's coming out of space with snow on it, and he's just taken a great touch, gets out of his feet, nudges it, square, I suppose, across the 18-yard box. The defence are all tracking back, and he tucks it into the bottom corner with confidence. Love that. It's only his 10th of the year. With all the rotation we've been doing on the striking front, it's going to be difficult for him to match the kind of goal-scoring return we saw from him last year, but I don't know if he can put in finishes like that. Anything might be possible here as he flicks it on Dylan Turnbull. Surely offside. He is offside. Don't celebrate it, Dylan. Don't celebrate it. Shvetsov almost turning provider. It was a great finish as well by Dylan Turnbull, which makes it even more upsetting, but we knew right away. I mean, it's not even marginal, is it? But a good finish by Dylan Turnbull right into the top bins, but it was irrelevant. Watch him now be onside in a similar chance and just miss it. That's how the laws of Football Manager work. Anyway, 20 minutes gone. We've been the better team in this game. Gonna just get a little bit shouty, a little bit demand more from our players. Liverpool, they've got the quality, they've got ability going forward. They've got some players that we do have to be a little bit scared of. Worth noting, by the way, obviously we've considered signing Smoljo. Ultimately, we decided it wasn't the right move at the right time. He's not even Liverpool's starting goalkeeper at the moment. They've got a new goalkeeper called Smith, who's a Scottish player who they have decided is better than Smoljo, which I'm a little upset about, if I'm honest. Anyway, Mateus Aurelio, come on, let's put Smith in his place. Justice for Smoljo. That is disappointing, to say the very least. Moreno lumps it down the line towards Pigott. McCassie, though, reading it like a buck. If there's some things you need to know about McCassie, it's that he can't head for toffee and he loves a mean buck. I hear his favourite book is The Hungry Caterpillar. Anyway, Morrigan with the ball here, switching it over to Nico. Matasevic with it. Kaiser switching the play over to Roth, or rather Nico, over on this left-hand side. He plays inside to Andy Eric, back wide to the left-back, whips in on his weak foot. Turnbull, looping header just over the bar. But we're creating opportunities. Liverpool, for all the shots they've had, they've only had one on target, and we're not seeing any highlights from them, which makes me feel like we're creating the opportunities of quality, I suppose. Kaiser on a booking is a little bit of a concern, perhaps, at the defensive midfielder position, but of course with Lescon out, we don't really have a plan B there. I'm trying to think what my plan B would be. What would my plan be? I mean, we have Adrian Highland, who technically could play there, but in terms of players on the bench, I would probably have to push Kaiser forward and then bring in potentially useless or Volta to play there. That would probably be the most logical thing. Let's hope that he can be well behaved. I suppose with that all in mind, it's probably advised to tell him just ease off tackles. You probably don't need to mark so tightly either. Although that might give their number 10, Moon, a little bit more space. We'll now see. If Moon now gets an assist for them, I will take full responsibility for telling Kaiser not to mark him quite as tightly. Anyway, now we're gone here. Turnbull's been pretty quiet besides his disallowed goal. Let's bring in Cancina for him. Worth noting, you may have spotted it already. Cancina, I had to give a new contract to. He was kicking up a fuss, threatening to leave. He's now on £140,000 a week. He was on £7,000 not that long ago. He had a long time left on his current deal, but I just didn't want to risk him kicking up a fuss, and we have got the money to spend. In fact, I recently got a board request granted for even more transfer budget, so I think the transfer budget got raised to £130 million. It was at £116 million. I have shuffled some of that into the wage budget, and I think we have something like £600,000 just going spare, which is quite a nice situation to be in, really. Anyway, 10 minutes left. Liverpool could have potentially been looking to go on the attack here as Pigott finds the ball on his head. Unfortunately, he has Dylan Turnbull syndrome. He heads the ball over. Now, there's part of me that wants to just go a bit more defensive to see out this game, but as we saw previously, I don't want to mention the last game, but against Real Madrid, we went more defensive. It didn't work out. We've stayed on the front foot. We've got the win. Clean sheet as well. We're doing it the new Towel way. I feel like in the last year, we've reinvented ourselves now as this defensive wall of a team. Also, Wolverden, one of our former players, when we were England manager, he's come up with the goods. Man City drop even more points. Their recent form does not read well. And in fact, with that, Man United up into third. You can see here they've lost against Everton, lost against United, lost against Chelsea, a draw against Brighton, who, to be fair, very nearly tripped us up. I mean, slowly but surely, I feel like this is becoming our title to lose. And I'm a little bit scared to say that. Anyway, we're going to jump forward to the EFL Cup quarter-final. I could commentate this bit in the meantime, but we've got 4 matches to get through. It's going to be a long one. Let's jump over to that. We're going to be taking them on at home. I'm going to rest the players. Let's try and make it 2 out of 2 against the Merseyside Reds. Okay, game 2 of episode 150. Another tie against Liverpool, but this time we're at home. We're in our own turf. I thought before we get into that, we'd just have a quick look at the transfer budget. As I mentioned, I requested it to get raised, and the board, to my surprise, raised it from 111 million to 131, which, when you consider we have almost £300 million in the bank, still feels a little small. You can see the wage budget, because of some rejigging that I've done, now sits at £336,000. We're spending so far below that. It's quite a nice situation to be in. I feel like now I feel a lot more confident about the whole wage situation we've got going on at the club. It is still a little mad that I've given Cancina the wage rise I have, but unlike players like Dylan Turnbull, who I can go and talk to and go, Dylan, do you really think you need the new contract? Like, I can talk him out of it. I don't know Cancina well. If he can't speak English, I can't speak Argentinian. I guess he naturally speaks Argentinian. Oh, it's Spanish, isn't it? I'm an idiot. Although he speaks Italian. No, I don't speak Italian or Portuguese either. Argentinian isn't a language check. What are you talking about? Either way, you can see here, outspoken, volatile, confrontational. I'm not willing to risk it when he's as good as he is. I will give him all the money that he wants up to a point. So he has now signed a new 5-year deal. I probably, actually, now I think about it, should be having a look at players whose contracts are expiring in a year, because I don't think I've done my normal yearly scout. Should we have a quick peek? Why not? This episode's already going to be a long one. So if you've not already got comfortable, go away, get some popcorn, come back. Let's have a quick look. Expiring in a year. Have they got any particularly great players? See, there's players like Camavinga here, but obviously he's a bit old. I guess Beltran wouldn't be a bad signing. He's requested to leave, the 31-year-old. I don't need another striker, but it's quite nice to just steal a player away from Man City. Obviously, I did talk last episode about the potential of signing Justus from Bayern Munich, and in a weird, cruel twist of fate, we've been drawn against him in the first leg of the first knockout round, rather, of the Champions League, which I feel like is a little coincidental. I feel like FIFA have done some fudging there. UEFA, they wanted a spicy fixture. I'm still very tempted to go in for Justus. I'm still very, very tempted. My only concern is how much Man City might offer, and now they won't. We negotiated this deal before, and now they've decided it's not enough. Well, that's a problem. Maybe I'll find a different marquee signing come January. Anyway, I wasn't meant to talk about transfers or even think about transfers. I wanted to keep laser focus on the matches, and while we go from one Liverpool game straight into this one, part of me wants to play the same team again. Part of me knows that's probably not the best idea. I think we'll bring back in Leskinen for Kaiser, who is a little tired. A few of our players available for the reserves, as you can see here, just struggling for fitness because they've just played a full 90 minutes. But at the same time, it's good first-team football for them to be acquiring. I'm just thinking about the rest of our team here. Is there any other positions to think about? I guess Sorretta's back, so Makassi, I'm sorry. I know you kept a great clean sheet, but you're out. There's a weird part of me that wants to bring in Jackie Ogier for Markovic. Not for Markovic. For Markovski, just because Jackie Ogier's got a really good average rating in his last 5 games. He played okay last time out. So a little bit of fudging around, a little bit of fiddling, but I think this is the team we're going to go with today. I think this is the team to get us to the Carabao Cup semi-final. There is a part of me that wonders if I should go defensive, but you know what? After we went attacking last time and still were very firm at the back, I'm feeling pretty good about things. Of course, it's worth noting that our more offensive system, whilst it is attacking, the actual mentality is positive. We've kept 10 clean sheets in 15 league games. Despite how attacking it might be going forward, it's been very good at the back at keeping clean sheets, and it's one of the reasons why I've not used the 4-2-4 that I mentioned at the start of the year more. Kind of going into this year, I was thinking, 4-2-4, we'll go gung-ho against smaller opposition, against teams we should be beating. And I just haven't. I've just stuck with what we know, stuck with what's been working. The clean sheets that we've been having kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. 10 in 15 matches is crazy. Matusovic has got a bruised shin. Well, if we could get a few goals, that would help me relax. And I mean, Nico at left back, what are you doing there, friend? Jarno Leskinen gets the assist. Nico, mate, you're a left back. I mean, I'm not going to complain, but you can see, like, something possessed him to run forward there, and run forward he did. Artigas missed a crucial opportunity, and then we took it into the bottom corner, scoring against a player that isn't Smoljo. They've given the number 1 shirt to him, Smith. Let's have a quick look at him. I mean, he is quite good, to be fair. He is quite good. He is quite good. I'll give it to him. He's not bad. I'm just wondering about taking off Matusovic with a knock. If we get a second, I'd be tempted to. Nico, long throw forward. Shvetsov headers it. Soretta, I think. Oh, no, it wasn't Soretta. It was Ogier lurking around in the box for any sniff of a rebound, but the keeper did hold on to it there. Might get caught out in transition here. We need to defend this well. Asensio, bring the ball forward. Tackle is missed. Nuhu back post, and from one end of the pitch to the other. Igor Asensio, not the Asensio that you were all thinking it was. And Nuhu, despite having a little bit of a knock, tidy little header by him, to be fair. Moon switching the play. Or not really switching the play, just passing it wide, spreading it wide. And the ball comes in here, and Nico, mate, you've gone from hero to villain there, because I feel like that's your man to pick up and at least challenge. Well, our clean sheet record's gone. The good news is this isn't a league game, so it doesn't matter. It does matter. I want to win this game still, as Ogier heads it narrowly over. I mean, so far in this game, I would argue that we have been the slightly better team, although there's not been a massive amount of difference in the overall quality. Chances for either team, but ultimately at the break, it's going to be 1-1. I'm going to get shouty. Matusovic is got a knock. Andres Burke. Do you know what? Double change. And you know what? We're going to bring in Kaiser, a deep line playmaker. Leskinen's going to get moved forward, and we're going to bring in Roger Makassi. Mazzala. He plays centre-back one game. He's at Mazzala the next. What a player. I love having a player like Roger McCassie. He's just so versatile down the middle. Anyway, Leskinen playing slightly higher up here. Can he find a good pass through? Shvetsov, please get onside. I don't know if he's onside there. Can he finish it? He can't. It wasn't offside either. Oh, that makes it worse. I was questioning whether or not he was holding his run well enough, because the left-back for Liverpool was the man he was trying to sit on the shoulder of, I suppose, and keep in line. He actually achieved it. Unfortunately, the difficult bit was done. The finish at the end of it, the thing that should come naturally to him, missed. And now Mick Piggott has scored. That's annoying, isn't it? That's annoying. Ball whipped in by Dylan McCord. And I feel like we just switched off for a second there. You know, set piece found itself in the wide areas. We had a lot of men back, but no one is picking up their man. He arrived from kind of deep. I don't know if that falls on the shoulders of Soretto or Auger. I feel like between them, they kind of just have to take a little bit of the blame each. I've already made 2 subs here, which makes this last change even more important. And you know what? Cancino, come on down. Stretch your legs. You're going to come on for Shvetsov. He's been a little bit disappointing today, although he is a bit tired as well. This match has only come 2 or 3 days after we just played Liverpool, so it's always going to be a factor, although I suppose you could argue it's a factor for both teams. That has to be considered. We've made all our changes. Time is slipping away quicker than I would like to admit. We're going to go a little bit more direct here, a little bit less of this working the ball into the box nonsense. Can we graft out just one golden opportunity? You can see the shots so far in our favour. 2 clear-cut chances, 3 half chances. They've not had any chances. It's turning into one of those games. Cancino wins it. Come on. Of course, this is a cup game. I believe it would go straight to extra time. If Cancino can finish it, Smith, though, makes a huge stopping goal. What a save that was, to be fair. That was not a bad attempted finish by Cancino. Actually, ask questions to the keeper, although the ball isn't... It's not out of danger yet. Lazarus keeps in. Cancino, you wazzock. You've got to score that. It's been a while since we've had a wazzock moment, but that was definitely a wazzock moment right there. 5 minutes of added time. It's not going to happen. I've made my peace with the universe. I don't know how we've lost it 2-1. I do know. We've just not dealt with a set piece. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? That's annoying. I mean, their keeper played very well. He made some good stops at the end, but we outshot them. Yes, they had more of the ball, but we had the better of the opportunities as well. That was not good enough, boys. Going to play a rotated team for the game against Norwich, because I can already see we've got Man City a week today. It is only the cup we're out of, so I suppose in the grand scheme of things, there's worse competitions we could have lost. It does mean that we won't have an opportunity to, well, defend our EFL Cup crown. To be fair, of all the crowns we have, it's not the best of crowns, so I'm okay with it, really. But yeah, we need to rotate the team a little bit. Todd Swales has lost his face, bless him. He's really struggling with the fact that we've been knocked out. Maybe it's the fact I loaned him to a League One team. Either way, it's like he's a ghost. I just feel a bit sad for him, you know, and I feel a bit sad for our team. We deserved better from that game. We do need to mentally reset. As I said, we're going to go do the Norwich game off camera because it's not the most glamorous of ties in 5 games. It's a lot of matches for one episode. So let's hop forward. Man City away, then Manchester United at home. There is still a lot to come today. I hope you're ready. So things now, they're going to go up a level, folks. We are getting into some serious business, and it's all because of some mistakes that were made. Yeah, we were playing Norwich, as you know, and I accidentally hit continue without rotating the team. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was the fact we missed a penalty in this game. Mistake number 3 was the fact that Jackie Auger got sent off in this game. And mistake number 4, and perhaps most importantly, we didn't win this game. Yes, it finished 2-2 against Norwich. A Norwich team that does consist of the likes of João Felix, Troy Parrott and Alexander-Arnold. It's like they've signed all the wonder kids who are now in the twilight years of their career. But yeah, Andre got us off to a flyer. Avila, we'll go with it. Ivan Avila, long-range effort for him for Norwich. He got man of the match. Shortly into the second half, Dylan Turnbull picked up a goal for us. A very, very scrappy one. And then Troy Parrott for them scored. I mean, you can see the stats in the bottom left. We dominated the game, even with 10 men for the entirety of the second half. We should have won. We had a lot more of our chances come in the second half. OJ sending off obviously wasn't ideal. And, well, with that result, we now know that taking on Manchester City and Manchester United to end today's episode, there's some pressure on us. You can see here we are tied with Chelsea. They have already played this weekend and beaten Tottenham. Anything that isn't a win or a draw here, and we won't be top anymore. We will sit down in second, and in fact, you can see here, we've got Manchester United breathing down our necks now, and Man City. So, yeah, it could definitely be easier. Of course, as I mentioned, I misclicked and hit continue a few too many times, and so we didn't play a rotator team for the game against Norwich City. And to make things even worse, Soretta and Auger both suspended at the same time. So, Markowski, McCassie, you're up. Someone left a comment recently saying that they didn't realise that Sasso Markowski, the Macedonian, and McCassie, the South African, are actually two separate players. I mean, for the first time ever, you're seeing them in the same room at the same time, so I can confirm they are separate beings. Going to be a bit of a test for them, I imagine. With it being Man City away, I think we will go to the more conservative system. Schwetzel's been very poor as of late, so I'm actually going to bring in Cancina and start him. I'm sorry, Andre, but yeah, against Norwich, he got a 5.7 rating. That is absolutely awful. So we're going to make a few changes, but it's still an extremely strong side. Fitness isn't 100% in terms of match condition, but it's in the 90s, which is all you can really ask for. And, we've got this game here, and then we don't really get much of a rest. We've then got Manchester United at the weekend on Monday night, actually. We're at the later kickoff. As a result of that being the later kickoff, and I believe there being a few other Premier League games played in the meantime, we're not going to cut between this match and the next match. There's going to be a little bit of a longer live segment. I have been looking at some centre-back options because, well, with Soretta and Auger out suspended from this game, McCassie and obviously Markowski come in. Behind them, Marlon Ox is the only centre-back in the team who's available for today's game. He's off to China next week. So, there is a centre-back position that needs to be solved. I have found a prospect. He is a Brazilian player. He's 18. I think he might be the man we go for. He's currently playing for Botafogo. We'll take a peek at him, I'm sure, after this game. Anyway, we need to focus on the here and now. And the here and now is Mbappe is on the right wing and looking scary. Marlon Frost hits the woodwork. Markowski just about heads it over. That's a little bit of a concerning start, isn't it? They're ricocheting the ball off our woodwork after, less than 10 minutes. And now Ashley Walker at the back post, free header, should be keeping it down. I feel like that early chance probably justifies getting a little shouty. Leskinen whipping in the ball. Dylan Turnbull, he hits the woodwork now. And both teams getting the ball into the box, getting on the head of their players. And on both occasions, the woodwork has held firm. 20 minutes gone here. We have edged possession ever so slightly, although there's not a great deal in it. Chances very 50-50, and Man City with a set piece here. Mbappe taking it short, giving it to Petit, and he elects to get back to him. Now with Panico, who doesn't have a whole host of options to go towards. Mbappe being pressured, and they're being forced to go back here, which is absolutely fine by me. No real outball here. Max is picked out eventually, although, the effort by Cancina to close him down was questionable. And, Frost is through. Frost is scoring that every day of the week. Whenever I see Marlon Frost have a clear-cut chance, I just assume it's in the back of the net. I feel like I've said Marlon Frost. Mike Frost. I'm thinking of Marlon Ox, our German player. Germans taking over world football. Who would have thought? Walker with a header through. Could Morrigan have done better? Maybe. I feel like it's a little harsh on him there. You can see, now that we are losing this game, dropping down to second. We need a draw to stay ahead of Chelsea by 1 point. And suddenly, from a position where you would have looked at the league table and gone, well, how are we going to bottle that? You now look at it, and it doesn't read so pretty. If we were to slip up in this game, would not be great. I guess the fact we're unbeaten still means I want at least a draw in this game. I want to keep the unbeaten run going for longer. Norwich not having a season like they had last season, where they went, the first half of the season unbeaten alongside us. Of course, last year our unbeaten run was terminated, if I'm not mistaken, by Manchester City. So this is a fixture that we're not really particularly great at. And with Man City's recent form, you would think they would be vulnerable. But from what we've seen here, they are not. Walker now down this left-hand side. Whips the ball. Frost is there. And what a header that is. What an insane goal that is. It's just before half-time. I'm going to go more positive. What do you say? He's had 2 half chances and he's just taken them both superbly. Walker finding space down this wing again. Puts in the ball. Frost headers it. Morrigan actually gets a really good hand to tip it onto the crossbar, but it's not enough. And, it feels like it's destined now to be 2-0 at the break. And whilst I have gone to the more positive system, there is now a sneaky, small part of me that's thinking maybe the 4-2-4 should just be unleashed here. Dust it off, bring it out. I'll tell you what, we'll wait for this highlight to play out. We'll see what can become of it as Nico has the ball. Back to Matasevic. Now with Leskinen, who switches it over to Mateus Aurelio. Players queuing up. Can he get a ball of quality in? He whips in Matasevic down to Andy Eric. Falls to Cancina on the rebound. And, well, with that, we're not now going to make a change. Although, Leskinen on a booking, that's just telling him to ease off tackles. I will say that is one side effect of us changing the deep line playmaker to defend in recent years, as it definitely picks up more bookings than I would like. Anyway, Frost cutting inside. Don't let him get a hat-trick. Mateus Aurelio puts in a huge tackle. Gets it forward to Dylan Turnbull as well. Didn't really mention him much there, but great to see Cancina being the man to get the goal on the rebound. It's his 10th of the year. A large bulk of his goals have come in cup competitions, in games where we probably should be winning. But, you know, turning up in this big game here, we might need a little bit more from him in this game. Although a really nice little piece of possession, and Cancina, the ball dinked through to him. Can he finish it? Of course he blooming can. It's 2-2. Maybe I should have just played attacking from the off. 2 clear-cut chances falling his way. He has finished them both. The ball hit by Andy Eric deserves a second viewing. Picks it up. Is back to Cancina. They try and play an offside trap, and Cancina springs it. And on the half volley first time, that is a really good finish by Claudio. And with that, we're back to top of the league, everyone. Mbappe over this free kick. He hits it. Oh my God, what an insane goal. What? He's 35 years old. He can't keep getting away with it. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? We fought back so well, and then Mbappe just cruelly pulls it away from us. I'm going to take off Dylan Turnbull and bring in Shvetsov. Andre's not the best of games. You know what? I might bring in Useless here. He had a good little performance against Malmo. This could be a chance for Ulisses to make a name for himself. Another one of our young Brazilians. A player who's not really made a splash yet in the first team in a live con. We need a goal here, Ulisses. This could be your moment. Just wondering about changing things up. There is the option to go to the 4-2-4. There is a little part of me that is tempted, you know. There's a little part of me that thinks, is this the worst idea in the world? Can shuffle things around like so to make it work. I mean, we need to be more direct. We need to get the ball further forward quicker. Why not? We've got one last sub in us as well if we want to make it. Matasevic, I'm going to take off, and I'm going to bring in Volta. He can play out on the right. In fact, he's one of a few players who's fairly surprisingly natural there is Volta. Obviously, for us, he plays centre mid, but he's got talent out on the right. Fresh legs. Let's see what he can do. And, well, we need a highlight. We need a chance. They've got a set piece here. This does not bode well. Ball whipped in. Walker. We need a goal to keep the unbeaten run going. We block the first effort. Panico's shot is blocked as well. Can we just about get it out? Ulis says to Cancina, go on, my friend. Go on, my friend, for the hat-trick. Oh, Bergerson tipping it over the bar for them. A good opportunity. I mean, we still have a corner, but usually these are just a little bit pointless after one clear-cut chance. And on this occasion, Petit heads it out. Markovski's going to try and keep it alive, but we're not going to see anything of that. Time trickling away here, going very attacking. There's not a great deal more we can do here. 3 minutes left to save our unbeaten run. It's Markovski and Makassi at the back. M&M, as we've been calling them in training. Nico tries to play it down to Shvetsov. Max reads it, though, the Brazilian centre-back. Now with Leclerc. Left Ferrari a few years ago to join Manchester City, of course. And, well, we're forcing them back here. We're trying to win the ball high up the pitch. But to be fair, they're working the ball around really nicely at Manchester City here. Havertz now with Herrera. He spreads it out to Ashley Walker, who is on a booking. 2 minutes left. I mean, a goal for them now, and it's GG. We're chasing the ball. We're chasing shadows. We just can't get onto it. We've got to hope that we can win the ball quickly and then just pounce. That has got to be our game plan here, but we've also got to be wary of Mike Frost bearing down on goal. He doesn't miss them. He just doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen him miss a clear-cut chance. Just as a recap, because I know not everyone watches every episode. He's quite good. I know some people have been like, chat, can you sign Mike Frost? Look, I bid 170 million and they told me it was I've tried comment section. He just doesn't miss a clear-cut chance. I don't want to watch it again. I'm too upset. I'm too fragile. The unbeaten run has gone again. courtesy of Man City. He got a hat-trick. It's just not fair. It's just not cricket. And, well, now we have a rest. We have a break until we play Manchester United. And, well, 18 games unbeaten. It comes to a screeching halt. And the worst thing about all of that is, well, we now sit in second. If we lose against Manchester United in the next game, potentially United and City overtake us. And, well, suddenly we are just sat in fourth place. Although I have just realised that Man City have played an extra game over us. So despite the fact they're 3 points behind us, not necessarily one of our big rivals. That is not a good Boxing Day treat, is it, that game? Did not enjoy that. Not ruin my Boxing Day. Anyway, the good news is that we've got players coming back now for this next game. So there is, well, the usual suspects, Markovsky and Soretta can play at centre-back. Is Auger back? He is. He is. I might bring in Auger. Although, to be fair, Markovsky's doing well. I've been wanting to bring Markovsky into the team more, because I do feel like on paper he should be better than Jackie Auger. And I don't know, after Auger betrayed my trust by getting sent off recently, maybe I should just stick with Markovsky more. I mean, you can see the direct comparison here. One of them is definitely better than the other. But obviously performances, you know, paint a slightly different picture, I suppose. But I do think this is the team that we might go with. Anyway, we are playing Manchester United on Monday, so we have got a little bit of rest time here. As I said, we're not going to cut out the fluff in between. And just going back to the centre-back that I just mentioned that we were looking at, let's have a quick peek at him, shall we? He is Diogenio. Or Diogeno? I think we'll call him Dio. It's just a good nickname. But yeah, he plays for Botafogo. There's definitely a chant there, isn't there? He comes from... His name is Dio. He's from Botafogo. Dio. Genio. Go. It doesn't work. And if you've got a better chant, please help me with it. Hopefully he gets a work permit. That is the big kind of question mark. We are bidding, I think, £17 million for him, which is debatably overpaying, but he's a player with some potential. And additionally, we've got £130 million in the bank. I can spend $20 million on an alternative centre-back option, and we definitely need that alternative option. With Ox going out... it's going to be a challenge for us to, you know, not have a fifth-choice centre-back, you would imagine, over the season. Jackie Auger's upset about the lack of a contract. Can we have a little word with him? We can. He was thinking about asking for an improved contract, but it means a lot that we've gone and talked to him. You're okay, Jackie. We're part of the Jack Alliance, in case you guys didn't know. You know, Jacks stick together. They're like ducks, really. Oh, the Mighty Ducks. What a movie. I realise not everyone would have got the Ducks Fly Together reference. What a movie. Anyway, we're going to mash through continue here. I will just take this opportunity, actually, while I'm mashing continue. Obviously, I appreciate if you've got to this point in this episode, because I appreciate it is a longer one today. I just want to say thank you to all the Patreon supporters out there. At the start of this year's Football Manager, we had about 10 patrons, and I'm appreciative to all of them, and a number of them are still supporting. We've now got over 100 of you lovely people, which is absolutely insane. If it's something that you maybe haven't considered but are curious about now that I mentioned it, check the link out down below. It is massively appreciated. There are, you know, some benefits to it. Worth noting that there will be a poll going up on the channel page in the very near future as we appeal a work permit here. There will be a poll because we recently hit a landmark on Patreon where I said if we hit a certain pledge total every month, I'd be bringing back monthly Football Manager guides. I opened up the floor. Anyone who is a key player tier or above is able to suggest different topics for guide videos. I've got some of those suggestions. I'm going to throw some of mine in the mix. They're going to go to a poll on the YouTube community page, and you guys can vote for the guide that you want to see for the month of June. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Unfortunately, Diogenio has not got his work permit. We'll find out in another day if he's going to get it. I'm a little bit scared that we've got a load of players leaving us soon. I did also notice here, contracts expiring at the club. Shortlisted players with contracts expiring. So this is because I've got my Wonder Kids shortlist. So this is all the Wonder Kids in their late 30s. All contracts expiring. So all the best young players of Football Manager, if you're wondering, I wonder where they are now in this save game. I mean, you can have a look through here and see where various players ended up. Haaland, interesting enough, is playing in Saudi Arabia, bless him. That's a interesting career. And Alphonso Davies playing for young boys. How good is Camavinga, age 32? He's not bad, is he? He's not bad. The question is, how much are they going to want for him? If I was a European team, I could sign him for free. Okay, well, apparently Manchester City have no interest in selling him whatsoever. I don't think there's anyone here who's probably worth signing, to be honest. Alessio Riccardi? He's quite a good player, but I don't need more centre mids. There's not really a position I need. I feel like it's more about investing for the future. I mean, sure, I guess I could bring in De Ligt as a bit of a squad player, but he's got a broken leg. Yeah, that's probably suboptimal, isn't it, for a centre-back you're looking to sign in January when they have a broken leg. Havertz playing for Man City, Camavinga, Vinicius Junior, Mbappe. You don't realise how good Man City's squad is. Not only have they got players like Mike Frost and obviously the left mid Walker, who played for England with us, they've also got some of the best young players in the actual game as well. It's just... life's not fair. Life's not fair. Man City aren't fair in Football Manager. Anyway, Dioginho has been offered a work permit, so that's now confirmed. I do kind of want to get the second scout report in. You can see it's improved a little bit more of the accuracy. I'm going to be a bit cheeky here and hit delay. I just want to know for certain if he's got more potential. Of course, the Black Stars are just uncertainty. I don't really want to describe it as potential, but essentially he has at least 3 stars of potential, which would probably make him a pretty good squad player. Ultimately here, I'm looking for a 5th choice centre-back, so I can't go out and sign someone of super high quality. If I can get in the next big Brazilian centre-back, the next Serreta, albeit on significantly more money and large wages, because he knows that we're offering a lot more wages to our players now, I'd be relatively happy. Worth noting, by the way, facilities upgraded. Drink it in. Enjoy it. 5-star state-of-the-art training facilities. 5-star state-of-the-art youth facilities. I don't think, for the first time in a very long time, we can actually ask for our facilities to be upgraded anymore. No. There you go. It's all done. Completed it, mate. Anyway, all this stalling, and we've got 2 days until Manchester United. Worth noting, the game is on the 1st of January. I think we're going to have some players that we've agreed to sign joining us on that date, so that's exciting. Hater Louise is one of our youngsters. He was actually listed, I don't know if he still is, he was listed as one of our hot prospects on the club profile page. Unfortunately, he got a really serious injury. I want to say it was a broken ankle while he's been on loan in Brazil, which for an 18/19-year-old is pretty nasty. To just get that super long-term injury, that definitely has impacted, I guess, his development and his ability to, well, I'd stand much of a chance of breaking into the first team this year. So I'm a little bit gutted about that. One player I'm quite excited about is Ivan here. He's shown some really good signs of improvement. He's 19 years old. Looks like a really potentially solid advanced playmaker, if only his composure was a little bit better. But I don't know, at 19, loads of room to improve. One thing that I've definitely experienced this year in Football Manager is that players can be in their early 20s before they really have a big jump in their development, which I think is something always worth considering. You can see here a few of the players who have been suggested to sign feel a little unrealistic. We've got Zidane, Valmir. I mean, Bittner would be lovely. I'd love to sign Bittner. It's a fantastic suggestion, staff. How much do they want? Yeah, I mean, can we ask the board to sign? Do I want to ask the board to sign Bittner? Might as well. Why not? I'm not going to force the issue. I don't need another striker. I just love the fact that it's been suggested by my staff. It reminds me. I don't know if anyone's seen the documentary on Netflix, Sunderland Till I Die. I'm trying to remember if it's season 1 or season 2 of it. I want to say it's season 1. Where there's like all the scouts in a room and they're talking about the players they've been scouting and, eyeing up potentially and recommending, and one of them brings out the name Ibrahimovic for Championship at the time, Sunderland. Kind of feel like that's the treatment that we're getting from our staff right now with this Bittner suggestion. Anyway, are there more games happening? Cancina, look at that. FIFA Under 21 men's best player. Love to see it. Cancina, give him a little pat on the back, Jack. Claudio, you beautiful man. Davronov has won Asian Footballer of the Year. He's on loan from us at Saint Etienne. And he's won Asian Footballer of the Year from Uzbekistan. Well, I mean, well played. He's never going to get into our first team, the Uzbekistanian. Is it Uzbekistan? I don't know. What is someone from Uzbekistan called? Uzbekistanian? Uzbek. Uzbek, that's the language. Nationality, it is just Uzbek. Uzbekistanian sounds better if you ask me. Anyway, Cancina's got European Golden Boy, which you'd love to see. Roger McCassie's got in the African Team of the Year playing centre-back, despite playing as a Mazzala for us a lot. Banima's had his initial move rejected. This guy, his contract's expiring today. and my scouts recommended him. He's capped for the Congolese national team. I mean, when you have an 18-year-old, he's capped internationally with ambitious personality, and you can get them on a free. I feel like it's worth going for him. Unfortunately, he might not get a work permit. We can loan him out to Kukuriki if we want. You know, our Serbian affiliates where we do loan players out to get work permits. That is an option, I suppose. One of the challenges I have with Kukuriki is the fact that in the Serbian Football League, you have a limit on the number of non-EU players in your match squad. So as a result, you know, we can have 10 players on loan at them. Only 5 of them are ever going to get regular first-team football. So it's not 100% ideal, really. Anyway, it is January 1st, so we are going to see some transfers coming and going. You can see we pay our annual fee to our affiliates. Transfer rumours, Andre to Everton for 157 million. I mean, I assume that Everton have been taken over by a tycoon in this save game. They finished second last year. If I'm not mistaken, they have been taken over by a tycoon. The fact that they're considering spending that much money on Andre kind of suggests as much. Anyway, we've sold Marlon Ox. £60 million for Marlon Ox. I think that's a pretty good sale for £60 million. 2 new signings confirmed. Brian Jensen joins us. He is a Danish left winger, but I think we're going to be training him to play as an advanced playmaker down the middle. His composure and decisions could do with being a little better, as could his anticipation. I think we'll alternate this guy between attacking movement and final third. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I think I'll start on final third because his composure and decisions are slightly weaker, but yeah, we will change that to attacking movement, I imagine, at times to help out with his anticipation. But he looks pretty solid as a potential player for the future. Not got the craziest amount of potential, to be fair, but we've signed him for how much? 400k. He's already worth £2.8 million. I think you can see where this might be going. The other player we've agreed to sign is Sergio Bruno, who is an Argentine right back. Do you have a work permit? Of course you don't. Let's try and get you one. £3.3 million paid for him. Why did I sign this guy for 3.3 million? That seems like a lot of money. Jack, what were you thinking? I guess I was thinking I'd play him at centre-back. That makes sense. So if we put aerial as the focus to help with heading, although I'll be honest, I train players in aerial a lot, and I don't feel like it actually makes that bigger a difference to how much their actual heading improves. He's a super well-rounded player at 18, to be fair. Like, very few, like, glaringly kind of large weaknesses in his game. Bayern Munich make Andre offer. They've offered £69 million. I'll tell you what, Bayern Munich. I want 300 million. Yeah, jog on. Still got to weigh up the possibility of signing Fjordhart, because as much as I haven't done it, or Fjordhart, we'll just call you Justice, it's easier. I mean, his name's Justice, and we're managing a team nicknamed the Lawyers. It would just be a missed opportunity, wouldn't it? They think that £105 million is just completely unacceptable. We had £104 million accepted at the start of November, so it's amazing how quickly things change. PSG have made an offer of £34 million for Smoljo. Oh boy, is that going to be the end of me ever being able to sign Smoljo back? Are we going to have to wait for him to get old? Morgan did have some interest in him at one point. Yeah, he still does from Arsenal. Thing is, he's kept 10 clean sheets in 17. I don't really want to drop him. It feels like a little bit of an unnecessary move, I suppose, to put it gently. Anyway, we've got a few loan offers here. Hendrik Ankerson Lange. Do I want to loan him out? I probably do want to get him regular first team football. Yeah, I do. Who wants to play him? Important player for Angers. Go on then. Bruno's still not got a work permit, bless him. There's no new players to register in the Champions League squad either. Tell you who we need to have a quick look at is Hector Louise, or Hater Louise, not Hector. Yeah, you can see here he broke his ankle. He's still out for 4 to 7 weeks. Really, really good player at 19 years old. Such a shame that he had this injury. I might try and get him a work permit now. We can't for 25 days. Okay, I guess the plan with him is to try and get him a work permit. If he doesn't get it, we loan him out again at the end of January, because hopefully his injury will be fixed and cleared by then. A few other players out on loan. Simon Carlson was on loan at Rotherham. He actually played a decent number of games for them. Unfortunately, he didn't score as a goalkeeper. He's a pretty good keeper, to be fair. Might have to look to get him another loan move. And the other player who's back is Michael King, who, I don't know. I mean, we brought him in for 1.7 million. It wasn't exactly a huge sum of money. He's not shown as much promise as you'd perhaps hope from a 19-year-old Englishman. Anyway, you can see here, Tottenham are going to be taking on Manchester City on this Monday. Chelsea going to be taking on Brighton. I guess they're the games to really pay attention to. Elsewhere, Liverpool v Southampton, I suppose, we'll have one eye on. I mean, if Tottenham could beat Man City, to be fair, I just don't want Man City or Chelsea to win the league this year. That would be fine by me. I mean, ideally, it would be us who win it, but I don't want... I guess the issue is if Man City do win it, they're just going to get loads of confidence. They're just going to have loads more money to spend and even more pulling power. Right, I mean, let's get into this, shall we? I'm nervous for this game. It's had a bit of a longer build-up with all the stuff and fluff going on in between. Auger is out suspended, so off you pop. I realise now that I probably should have just confirmed the signing of that centre-back, because right now, McCassie is the only player that we have who's fit, who can play centre-back. It's worth noting, I suppose, emergency option, emergency of all emergencies. Jarno Leskinen can play centre-back. It's something that I did this season against Norwich just recently in the game prior to this little segment of today's episode. I had to play him at centre-back. I wouldn't ever want to play him at centre-back, but if we need to, if needs must, that is an option. Just looking at the team on the whole, Steve Norman, is he back? He could play 60 minutes. You know what? As a super sub, maybe he's not the worst option in the world. Pretty happy with our team on the whole. And, well, let's hop into this. We're playing against Manchester United at home. Given how the game just went against Manchester City, I'm going to play attacking from the off. Of course, against Man City, we kind of set up to just shut them out, and we conceded 2 goals. We changed things up and fought back to get it back to 2-2. Of course, they scored a set-piece, and they scored one later on as we did chase the game. But I did feel like we played our better football on the front foot, playing the more positive system, where we do look to seize the play, look to control a bit more of it. Let's see how it serves us at home here, though. This is a huge game. We really need to win this. Of course, we've not won in our last 2 games now, and suddenly, from a team who are unbeaten and top of the league with games in hand, Leskinen's just about to get sent off, isn't he? Just kick him off the pitch now. I don't need another centre-back. Oh, football manager, football manager, football manager, football manager, football manager, football manager. Why do we play this game, everyone? Why do we play it? Right, you might be wondering, game plan, Jack. The game plan that we're going to go with is we are going to play the exact same thing we played against Norwich, which was to switch to the cautious system and just change things up like so. I don't really have a plan B. I don't want to have to make a sub unnecessarily early on. And this is something that can work for us, although, just looking at it, I should probably swap Kansina and Shvetsov around. Shvetsov is a better pressing forward than Kansina is a pressing forward, just because Kansina doesn't really have the work rate. He's the super technical, flashy player, not the player who runs himself ragged, chasing the ball high up the pitch. Anyway, if we can get a win here, or even a draw here, this would be suddenly a huge performance for us. We've got a mountain to climb. We're at base camp. Let's see if we can make an ascent. Andy Eric. Wide to Mateus Aurelio. Goes back to Soretta now. I mean, I don't mind this. I'm not mad at this. Playing it out from the back. Little Brazilian triangles going on. Getting the North Macedonians involved in it now with Markovski. Andre could go left to Nico. Goes back. I mean, patient play, boys. I'm all about this. Just don't give the ball away at the back. Morrigan, please don't do anything silly. Slightly heart and mouth moment. Obviously, I had complete faith in him. Consider, you look offside. Are you offside? He is offside. I was about to say, there's no way he's clean through that much and he's not offside, and I was absolutely correct. The linesman sat there with his flag up in the rain. Oh, is this really how we start to bottle the title with these games? The draw against Norwich was annoying because we missed a penalty and had a sending off. To get another sending off in this game here so early on, and it's a straight red, and now we're giving away a penalty. I mean, who needs any further pain in your life when you're playing Football Manager? Medjbury steps up, hits it. Oh boy. Oh boy. This feels like the beginning of the end, which might sound a little dramatic, and maybe it is, but what an annoying game. It's annoying, right? Because the OJ sending off and this one, the OJ sending off against Norwich and the sending off here, straight reds, it's just stupidity. Completely out of my control. The issue, of course, now is we're down a man, we're at home, we're down a goal. Kind of need to go a little bit more on the attacking. You can see here United dominating the play. Although we've got a set piece here, we've got our long throws. Maybe they are our weapon. Nico, What can you do? Launch a weapon. Thrown forward. Headed away. Andre. What an insane goal. I mean, it's 1-1. And we have one man to thank. He's worth more than 160 million. Tottenham beating... I think Tottenham were beating Man City there as well, which you love to see. What an insane finish that is. That is top bins of top bins. Andre loves to get a goal against the Manchester clubs, as it turns out. It's 1-1 at the break. Considering they scored from a penalty and we've been a man down since the 8th minute, it's not a bad first half at all. They've got a lot of players on bookings at the back. In fact, with that in mind, team instructions. With that in mind, run at defence. Have a go at them. Let's do the work in the ball into the box for, and let's be more direct. Matasevic. Corner. Whips it in. Shvetsov's underneath it. Headed away. Cancina. Keep it alive, my friend. Give that ball CPR. Gives it to Matasevic. Back now to Nico, the left back. I mean, that could be a problem. Mahon blocks it and they are breaking away. We are a little short on men at the back here. Mahon, all on his lonesome. Morgan tips it over. I feel like he could have held on to it, really. But I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. In a game with not a whole host of chances, that is one of the best ones of the game, going in the favour of Manchester United there. Unfortunately, not able to make anything of it, and while it looks like that corner is going to amount to nothing, and indeed it isn't. I'm going to take off Matasevic, and I'm going to bring in Volta. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring in McCassie. Better defensive option, although I may take off Andy Eric as well. I think we will, and what we'll do is we'll move Andre into right centre mid as Mazzala and bring in Kevin Kaiser at centre mid. I've got one last sub. You know what? Cancina off for Turnbull. That's the change that we need. Turnbull's been in some good goal-scoring form. Just looking to rotate the front three. I feel like on its day, Shvetsov and Cancina is our strongest strongest pairing on paper, which is why I've started them in this game. But well, as we've seen here, strongest 11s don't always win you games. 9 minutes left. It's 1-1. There is a highlight here, and it's in the feet of Shvetsov, who plays it forward. Is Dylan Turnbull going to get there? Mendes with the ball plays it forward for United. Got to anticipate that they're going to be going in for the kill here. They are not going to want to settle here for anything other than a win, United. Morgan spreading the play wide to Nico. Not bad play from the back, considering the tricky conditions here in the rain. He's done okay now, while McCassie, fresh off the bench, the South African centre-back in the African Team of the Year, all on his lonesome. The keeper parries it wide. He's the centre-back who can play Mazzala. Have you ever seen it before? It's like Dumbo, the elephant that can fly. It just shouldn't be a thing. Markovsky puts in a crunching tackle. My heart skipped a beat there, thinking it was about to be a penalty. It's not. But this highlight will persist. It's the 84th minute. There is not long left in this game. United in possession. Pumping the ball forward. Ball cleared away by Mateus Aurelio. Can any of our players turn up to deal with that? Of course they can't. Mendes goes for a back pass, and that is questionable at best. Alvin John with the ball. Was in goal for us when we were England manager. Passes it across his own defence. Jeez, I mean, why he didn't just put that out and be safe, I'm not sure, though. Maybe this is why. Okay, it's not. It's not. Worm has squirmed it wide. You may remember Worm. He was a German player whose contract was expiring at the end of his... or rather, his kind of contract was expiring, and loads of you guys wanted me to sign, but I couldn't afford his wages. He's now on United's money. Missing chances like that. Bullet dodged, if you asked me. Anyway, 2 minutes left. A highlight here. Worm plays it forward to Mahon. Please, Morgan. Please, Morgan. Huge tackle. Was that Nico who put in a foot? Someone has just done heroics. Give them a cape. Give them, a little mask that superheroes wear. Let them live out their fantasies. We'll take that all day, every day. What an awful, awful game. We rode our luck. We were very fortuitous not to concede at the end. I probably should have changed something tactically. Ultimately, however, in a game like that, against a team who aren't breathing down our necks, they are going to be a problem for us. They're in third, we're in second. To have a sending off after 8 minutes is disastrous. And you know what? I'm giving you a 2-week fine, Jarno, and you can cry to me if you want, but you put us in deep trouble there. Nico picking up man of the match. With an 8.6. He didn't get a goal or an assist, but he made 20 tackles. I mean, that's what you want to see, isn't it? Anyway, let's just have a look at the league table and the other fixtures in the Premier League. It looks like Chelsea may have slipped up. Yes, Chelsea drew against Brighton. That is huge for us. Elsewhere, Tottenham beat Man City. That is equally as big. To be fair, that's probably as good as we could hope, but look how tight this league table is now. Manchester City down in 5th, Liverpool in 4th but have played a game more, and then the front three, ourselves, Chelsea and Manchester United, separated by 2 points at the halfway point in this season. Wow, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be spicy. We do have Chelsea in the near future, so I imagine that'll be next episode. You can see here, we've actually got Chelsea and Man City. So if you were thinking that the matches were going to get easier after this run, absolutely blooming not. We've got to play Manchester City in the league again and Chelsea again. That will be a live-com double header, I imagine, tomorrow. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. And I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Obviously a slightly longer one for episode 150. I wanted to do something a little bit special, make a little bit of an occasion of it. Obviously had a day off yesterday so I could come into this ready and refreshed. I think this episode's going to be over an hour long. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have made it to the end, please do drop a like on the video. It lets me know that you may want to see more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you for your support on this series from the bottom of my heart. This kind of series never goes on for this long without your outstanding, crazy, just unbelievable support. You guys are absolute legends. Be this the first series you're watching here on the channel or the first. Or rather, no. Did I just say first twice? It's been a long day. Be this the first series you're watching on the channel or one of many, thank you for being here. I'm struggling to speak, as you can tell. It's been a long day. It's now midnight. I'm going to go and sleep. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and we'll see you for this weekend's games. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.